Do you suffer from stress, anxiety, or depression? Do you find it hard to focus or to contain your emotions? Any of these things can take you down. So, what then are your personal health practices? If you don't yet have an integral or holistic wellness practice, you're in the right place. Podcast host Susan Axelrod, the confidence coach, has been practicing holistic wellness for 25 years. Along the way, Qigong and Tai Chi found her. After tiptoeing in, she dove into a committed practice and became a teacher and integral wellness consultant. She'll tell you Qigong and Tai Chi changed her life. In this podcast, she interviews practitioners, inviting them to share their stories about how these practices changed their lives too. Go grab your journal. At the top of a clean page, write down, "I want to feel better." Then take a breath and tune in to see if Qigong and Tai Chi can help. Hello, and welcome to another episode of this very important podcast series, How Qigong and Tai Chi Changed My Life. For me personally, it helped me find an inner calm that I never knew I had and I never believed I could achieve. This is one of the reasons that I'm bringing this podcast series to you today. I'm interviewing practitioners and I'm reading their bios directly so that I can introduce you to the different people who practice this special modality. Today, my guest is Jennifer Weiss. Jennifer is a senior trainer with the Institute of Integral Qigong and Tai Chi and a certified Circle of Life coach. She is based in Bloomington, Indiana. She is a black belt in Shorin Ryu Karate. Other training includes Reiki, Eden energy medicine, and Therapeutic Touch. She has studied Tai Chi in China's Wudang mountains, the birthplace of Tai Chi. Jennifer's dynamic teaching and coaching style is rooted in her passion for conscious growth and her lifelong investigation of wellness and the somatic arts. She's currently working on the ABChis, a fun and easy mindful movement for curriculum of all ages. Hello, Jennifer. How are you today?
Hi, Susan. I'm well, thanks. Good to see you. Good to be here.
I'm so happy to have you. I have questions already about what it is that you're doing. But before I get into that, let me just ask you, how has Qigong or Tai Chi changed your life?
You mentioned inner calm, and it's similar for me. It was that experience, the activation of the inner witness, the infinite essence, the part of me that can observe my thoughts, that I was like, wow. There's, this culture jokes about voices in your head and this and that and talking out loud. But let's face it, we all have a narrative going. What we weren't taught was that we have an unreliable narrator, right? I don't know if you're familiar with that genre in fiction, the unreliable narrator, when you're reading something and you realize, oh, this narrator isn't, trustworthy. Well, guess what? That's the voice inside your head, unless you've trained it, right? Unless you've tossed a rope around that wild horses, wild monkey, wild ox, all the metaphors work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go ahead.
I love this idea of training that inner narrator. That was my life, to tell you the truth. And I do so much work in this with others now that when you speak, you are the first person who hears your words. And also when you think, your soul is the first thing that receives your thoughts. And so when you talk about the inner witness, to be the inner witness, to cultivate the inner witness, and then you talk about infinite essence, I would love to have you just share a little bit more about this beautiful phrase what you mean by infinite essence.
Right. The part of yourself that can't get sick and does not die. That divine spark. Regardless of what you believe, that what happens when we die, regardless of your religion or spiritual, there's something there that changes when we're no longer in physical form. So let's call that the divine spark. So then we, as humans, we have the capacity to witness our thought processes. We have the capacity to take a step back. Stephen Levine, an early influence for me, wrote a book called The Gradual Awakening, and he talks about the track of consciousness. Well, most people are just on that train, just along for the ride. They don't even realize they can get off. They can witness that train. And guess what? Not only are they the train, they're the tracks, they're that whole entire landscape, they're that presence. So Eckhart Tolle calls it the presence, a capital P presence. So we're presencing. So I like infinite witness, or I like witness, observer, infinite essence. It gets into the notion of accessing aspects of yourself that are you, but perhaps you're not conscious of, a greater knowing, an infinite essence that can inform you once you acknowledge it and give it space to come through.
Yeah, I want to really invite people who are watching this or listening to it to pause for a moment here, to open your mind for a second to what Jennifer is teaching us today, to the idea that we can witness the narration of our lives, that we can witness our thought process. This is what I call coming into awareness. And you referenced the book, The Gradual Awakening. And part of my journey was reading and using Mark Nepo's book called The Book of Awakening. The word awakening being the key here. And I really want to invite people to tune in, to, come here and tune in to this idea. Jennifer, this is so important. This message alone, that we can be in better charge of ourselves, aka our souls, simply by coming to attention to witness our thought process and to understand the inner narrative and to realize the infinite essence. So just give me 1 second. I just need to breathe for a second. This is so big, so important. So thank you so much for sharing these ideas with us. This is already really a big lesson for today. I simply have to ask you, please tell us about this thing you're working on calling the ABChis. And also, I especially loved in your bio this idea that you appear to be creating something for a curriculum for all ages, because I'm desperately wanting younger generations to come into this space. So tell us about it.
Oh, thank you so much. Absolutely, we're so aligned. I love the Book of Awakening, by the way, one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah.
Mark Nepo, amazing. And yeah, ABChi. So it connects because, the phrase, the big cheese, the boss, the head, that's your ego. The big cheese is the ego. And then ABChis, because all kids learn the ABCs. So as I got into the work more and I was teaching adults and working with kids, but not specifically in a mindfulness context, I was like, wow. And so there are curriculums out there, but they're not as active and as fun as I feel they need to be. So I was like, okay, universe, all right, I'll take this on. And so it's 9 lesson plans. It's a poem. So it's ABChi's, align and breathe. Open, sink, slight bend in the knees. DEF, definitely, effortlessly, flowing with ease. GHI, arms to the sky. Gather infinity, harmonize. I'm not sure I'll be able to rattle the rest of
Oh
it
my
up.
God, this is ridiculous. I'm literally, my mouth is open. What is happening here? That is so good. Just you starting with align and breathe. This is so good. Oh my gosh. If you want, you could, if you're, I don't know if you're public with this, but I could put it in the YouTube notes to edify, so you don't have to go through the whole alphabet. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's what we're doing here. We're coming here. We're showing up. We're speaking out things to emanate energy for now. Clearly, our younger children. This is vitally, desperately needed. So I just want to send my energy to you to keep doing what you're doing. And have you practiced this with children yet?
Yes, yes. I had some real success on Zoom of all things. I had pictured it in person, but now I'm thinking this is Zoomable, or an online potential. And it's all forthcoming. And there's currently a lesson plan for each of the segments. It's designed to be a 9-week endeavor with people who homeschool, or educators who want to bring it into the classroom. And so the kids are going to be asked to memorize each of those couplets per week. So it's not too much to ask. And then along with the couplet is like a whole lesson plan to help them orient and dive deeper into what are these 2 lines actually saying? What's this all about? And so, and it can be a song too. ABChi, align and breathe. Open, sink, slight bend in the knees.
Oh my God, this is crazy. Oh my God, I am so excited right now because I'm not kidding. I worked with different kinds of clients, but one of the groups I work with are young professionals. I'm deeply impassioned about supporting our young professionals today. And I was a young professional in the day. I was mentored by many different people. And so I do a lot of mentoring. I'm a coach to young professionals. And my young professionals, not all of them are married. Some of them are not married. But some of them are married with children. But even my young professionals who are not married have children in their lives, either children of friends or nieces, nephews, nibblings. And so I really love this, and I want to invite Jennifer's going to. Why don't you give us your email now? Why don't you just give us your email now?
It's it's taichibtown at Gmail. So TAICHIBTOWN at Gmail.
So taichi, B as in boy, town at gmail.com.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. So I said that because I literally right now already, we're not even done, but I just wanted to invite, if it were me with my children, I would want to know how to access this. So if people are hearing this already and they're interested, you can go ahead and just email Jennifer and say, wow, I'm interested in what I heard on the podcast. Okay, we'll go over that again later at the end. So just, can you give us an example? You said you did do this online with some children. How old were if it's okay, I want to ask you, how old were the children? And just share a little bit about what this particular experience was.
Well, they were in the 6 to 8 range, which is kind of the target, but I do think it could go 6 to 10. A lot depends on the child, right? Because it's silly. There's a lot of silly, fun craziness. And there's a certain age when they're just too cool for that, too cool.
Got it.
And that's getting younger, sadly. But it just depends. I think older kids, eventually I'm going to have 2 curriculums, one for like 13 and up, And this one is good enough for up to 11, 12 range. And yeah, so kids love animals. So, and for Qigong, one of the most ancient things is the animal frolics.
Yeah.
But guess what? They love to be creative too. So one of the first things I do is I say, hey, what's your favorite animal? Tell me about it. What? And oh, it's a game actually. So I suggest they could start with their name. So we could do it right now. What do you think of an animal that starts with the letter S, and then think of a movement and a sound that goes with it. And let me see if I can guess it.
Okay, I have the animal, I have the movement and the sound, but that starts with an S.
Okay, like you could just start with the movement. Snake.
Snake.
Yeah, okay. So I'll do one. It's kind of similar.
With a J?
I'm going in and out.
Jaguar? No. I don't know. I don't know J animals.
Oh, it's hard. It's jellyfish.
Oh, jellyfish. Yes, I see that. And I love that whole upper body movement. Yeah.
Yeah. So right off the bat, we play games with kids. This is going to be fun. Right. And so.
Wait, before you go on, I just want to say right off the bat, it's a game, but right off the bat, what am I doing? I'm moving my upper body and you're moving, like the jellyfish moving your upper body. So right off the bat, we're getting movement in with the kids. But before that, you already activated what we call the mind focus, right? Mind focus, breath awareness, body movement. So you activated the mind, you engaged the synapses to say, think of an animal that starts with your name. I'm like, this is crazy. Go ahead.
Well, and so then you can make a game, right? Because everybody on the Zoom can do their animal. But guess what? Can you remember everybody else's animal and their movement? So then you can do a round robin where not only you're doing yours, when it's your turn, I've got to do everybody else's that came before me.
Oh my God, this is crazy. You're activating the memory. You're in the engagement of the brain synapse in memory further. This is so great.
Yeah. And so the goal is that everybody gets to do an animal. Now, if you've got a bunch of really creative kids, they can start telling a story. And now they do the story, and maybe each person gets a minute or 30 seconds, and then it goes on to the next person. But guess what? The overarching goal is for them to do a performance of their story and video it and upload it to the channel, the eventual YouTube channel. So everybody, kids they're amazing, right? They want to perform, they want to be the center. And all we have to do is give them a little nudge. Hey, why don't you do this? The kids that I'm working with are already excited about their big debut. Now, it's a whole nother thing if parents want them to be online or not. And I understand maybe you don't want to upload a video of your kid. No worries. But to have a performance element, like at the end of the 9 weeks, there's going to be a school talent show. And guess what, grade 6? You're going to be in front of the whole school. That gets their attention.
Oh my gosh, this is crazy. You know what, Jennifer? There could be all the obstacles, all the problems, oh yes, I understand the thing. Of course we understand somebody, but we're not in the obstacles right now. We're in complete, utter, total flow with this because our children need this. Jennifer, my entire being aches when I think about what COVID did to our school children on those days. Never mind also the teachers, suddenly an 8-year-old child is being told you have to sit in front of Zoom for 6 hours. This is a beautiful use of the modality. I don't care if it's live. I don't care if it's online. I don't care if it's one student. I don't care if it's 100 students. I just want to be really genuinely, sincerely in the energy flow of doing your steps, moving forward, supporting you, mind, body and soul to keep on this path, because I don't think I'm being hyperbolic to say our children need this and they will benefit from this. I really want to wish you the very best. I want to say thank you. I believe it or not, we just have another minute. I just want to say thank you for sharing these ideas with us today. And I just want to invite you to give us your email again so people could get in touch with you to ask questions or find out more.
Oh, sure. It's taichibtown@gmail.com.
And the B stands for?
Bloomington, Indiana.
Yeah, Bloomington. That's what I thought. Okay, so
Yep.
taichi, B as in boytown, @gmail.com. Wow, Jennifer, I hope that you will do whatever it takes for yourself to continue to be in flow with this idea, with this program. And I'm a person, my entire, business model is online, but I teach business, I teach all kinds of things. It's not about the masses, Jennifer. It's not about how many. It's about the one you touch and affect and how deeply we can go. Because right now, the difference is going to be made one-to-one. So I want to encourage you to keep doing small classes. I would imagine it would be helpful. Kids, sometimes they won't sit, and then they may interrupt. You have to manage this circumstance with patience and with love. And I really just want to, encourage you to continue on this path. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much, Susan. Really, the enthusiasm and support is palpable, and I so appreciate it. I so appreciate the time with me, the time you're doing with others, and I just wish you all the best. And I salute your efforts to help get these very important concepts out to a wider range of people.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm going to be contacting you personally to see how I can support you in what you're doing. It's that meaningful to me. So I'll be in touch about that.
Oh, I look forward to it. Thanks.
All right,
again.
Jennifer, I'll see you soon. Take care.
Bye.